Honestly, I'm offended. I want to live a certain way, just like your other family. I want to live that way.
I got to handle everything myself. So why don't you give me a break?
Okay, well, we need to raise the budget.
I have a budget because I have other responsibilities. He's not my only responsibility.
You would never.
Tension was already simmering long before cameras caught a single raised voice. But according to multiple circulating reports and online chatter, what unfolded around the so-called New Miami home pushed everything over the edge. Fans are shocked by the sudden wave of headlines suggesting that Nadia
Put Rada in here.
If this is what I had for Rada, Rada would accept whatever I give her. She don't complain.
That's not true.
Okay, she don't complain.
Yeah, right. She complained all the time about everything.
What has to do when you at the play? Right now, I'm trying to find a place so you and the baby could be closer to me.
Okay, this is not it. This is not the
Okay,
place.
we'll
So we
keep
can
looking.
move on and talk
We'll
about
keep
something
looking.
else, because this is not the place.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Nadia completely lost her cool during a heated exchange with Michael, turning what was supposed to be a fresh start into a full-blown emotional showdown. While none of this is confirmed as fact and remains commentary based on emerging reports, the stories spreading online paint a picture of a moment where emotions ran high and no one walked away untouched. Sources claim the argument wasn't just about bricks and walls, but about trust, control, and unspoken resentment that had been building quietly for months. Insiders say the New Miami home symbolized something very different for each person involved. For Michael, it reportedly represented stability and progress, a sign that things were finally moving forward. For Nadia, however, fans are speculating that it felt more like a breaking point, as if decisions were being made around her rather than with her. That contrast alone was enough to ignite sparks. At least according to what viewers believe they're seeing hinted at in recent discussions. But the tension didn't stop there. Reports swirling on social media suggest that Rada was pulled directly into the chaos, turning a private disagreement into a divided situation that left the family split. Fans are shocked at claims that voices were raised, accusations were thrown, and old wounds were suddenly reopened. Some say this wasn't just one fight, but the result of years of unresolved issues finally spilling out in one explosive moment. As these stories continue to circulate, viewers are left wondering what really happened behind closed doors and how much of the drama is rooted in truth versus perception. Emotions ran high, lines were drawn, and according to commentary making the rounds, nothing about this situation feels settled. And if these reports are even partly accurate, this may be the moment that changes everything moving forward, leaving fans glued to their screens waiting to see what happens next. According to circulating reports and ongoing commentary, the tension surrounding the New Miami home had been quietly building long before it exploded into what fans are now calling one of the most emotionally charged moments of the season. On the surface, everything appeared calm. Smiles were shown. Supportive words were exchanged publicly, and the idea of a new beginning was being promoted as something positive. But behind that image, insiders claim there was a growing disconnect between what the home represented to Michael and what it symbolized for Nadia. Commentators suggest that for Michael, the new place was more than just a house. It was described as a milestone, proof that things were moving forward and that stability was finally within reach. He reportedly spoke about the home with pride, discussing future plans and envisioning a life that felt structured and secure. However, fans following the story online believe Nadia was experiencing something very different emotionally. Reports suggest that instead of feeling excited, she felt increasingly uneasy, as if the pace and direction of decisions were slipping out of her control. Sources claim that conversations around the house often felt one-sided. According to commentary, Nadia attempted to voice her concerns multiple times, raising questions about timing, location, and whether this move truly reflected what she wanted. Fans are shocked by claims that these concerns were often met with reassurance rather than real discussion, leaving her feeling unheard. Emotions ran high as the gap between intention and impact widened, with both sides believing they were acting in the best interest of the relationship. As the move became more real, online discussions suggest the pressure intensified. Boxes were packed, plans were finalized, and expectations grew heavier. Commentators say Nadia began to feel like she was being pulled along rather than walking beside Michael. This emotional imbalance, according to fans, created a quiet resentment that lingered beneath the surface. Small disagreements reportedly started to feel bigger, and moments that once seemed minor began carrying emotional weight, reports circulating among fans describe a noticeable shift in Nadia's behavior during this period. She was said to be more withdrawn, more cautious with her words, and visibly conflicted. While none of this is confirmed as fact, many viewers believe these changes reflected an internal struggle between wanting harmony and needing to feel respected. Michael, on the other hand, was reportedly focused on maintaining momentum, seeing hesitation as an obstacle rather than a signal of deeper issues. Commentary suggests the breaking point came during a conversation that was supposed to be routine. What began as a discussion about settling into the new space allegedly took an unexpected turn. Fans are shocked by reports claiming Nadia finally voiced everything she had been holding in. She reportedly questioned why decisions felt rushed and why compromise seemed absent. Emotions ran high as frustration spilled out, transforming a calm exchange into a charged confrontation. According to online chatter, Michael appeared unprepared for the intensity of her reaction. Sources suggest he responded defensively, emphasizing that his actions were meant to secure their future. Fans watching from afar believe this response only deepened the divide. To Nadia, according to commentary, it felt like her emotional concerns were being dismissed as resistance rather than understood as fear and uncertainty. As the exchange continued, reports claim long-standing issues resurfaced. Nadia was said to reference past moments where she felt overlooked, connecting them to the present situation. Fans are shocked by how quickly the argument reportedly moved beyond the house itself, evolving into a conversation about trust, partnership, and emotional safety. Michael, according to circulating stories, tried to steer the discussion back toward practicality, but the emotional tone made that nearly impossible. The tension escalated further when Rada reportedly became aware of the conflict. Commentary suggests Rada stepped in with the intention of easing the situation, hoping to bring perspective and calm. However, fans are shocked by claims that this involvement shifted the dynamic in unexpected ways. What might have been resolved privately now carried the weight of additional voices and opinions, intensifying emotions rather than settling them. Reports suggest Nadia felt overwhelmed by this shift. Commentators claim she perceived Rada's involvement as pressure rather than support, which only amplified her emotional response. Fans online believe this was the moment when frustration turned into open conflict. Emotions ran high as misunderstandings layered on top of existing tension, creating a situation where no one felt fully heard. As words reportedly flew back and forth, accusations began to surface. Nadia was said to question whether her feelings were ever truly considered, while Michael reportedly expressed frustration over what he saw as constant doubt. Fans are shocked by how quickly the atmosphere allegedly changed, turning a hopeful milestone into a symbol of division. The family was left divided, at least according to the narrative spreading across social media, with loyalties and perspectives pulling everyone in different directions by the time the conversation began to slow. Commentators describe a heavy silence settling in. There was no clear resolution, only exhaustion and unresolved emotion. Fans believe this moment marked a shift, where unspoken issues were finally brought into the open but left without closure. While these accounts remain speculative and rooted in circulating reports, the story being told paints a picture of a relationship under strain, challenged by expectations, communication breakdowns, and the emotional weight attached to a place that was supposed to represent a fresh start. The silence that followed that emotionally charged exchange did not bring relief. According to circulating commentary, it only made everything feel heavier. Fans are shocked by reports suggesting that the air inside the new Miami home felt tense for days afterward, as if every room carried the echo of what had been said. No one officially addressed the conflict right away. But insiders claim the emotional distance between Nadia and Michael became impossible to ignore. What was meant to be a shared space now reportedly felt divided, with unspoken thoughts lingering. In every corner, commentators suggest Nadia struggled deeply in the aftermath of the argument. She was said to replay the conversation in her mind, questioning whether she had expressed herself clearly or if her emotions had once again been misunderstood. Fans following the story online believe this internal conflict weighed heavily on her. Instead of feeling supported, she reportedly felt isolated, as though her vulnerability had been met with resistance rather than reassurance. Emotions ran high as she tried to make sense of whether this was a temporary clash or a sign of something more serious. Michael, according to online discussions, appeared equally affected, but in a different way. Reports suggest he felt blindsided by the intensity of Nadia's reaction and frustrated that what he viewed as progress had turned into conflict. Fans are shocked by claims that he began questioning whether every major decision would now be met with doubt. Commentators believe this mindset created emotional distance, with both sides retreating into their own perspectives instead of meeting in the middle. As days passed, reports indicate that tension spilled into everyday interactions. Simple conversations reportedly became strained, and moments that once felt natural were now filled with caution. Fans speculate that Nadia became more guarded, choosing her words carefully to avoid triggering another argument. Michael, on the other hand, was said to grow quieter, interpreting her restraint as withdrawal rather than reflection. Emotions ran high beneath the surface, even when nothing was openly said. Commentary suggests that Rada's presence continued to influence the situation during this period. Insiders claim Rada attempted to check in on both sides separately, hoping to understand what went wrong. However, fans are shocked by claims that these conversations only added to the complexity. Nadia reportedly felt her emotions were being analyzed instead of validated, while Michael may have felt his intentions were being questioned. The family was left divided emotionally, even if no one openly admitted it. According to circulating reports, one particular moment intensified everything further. Commentators describe a gathering where the atmosphere was meant to be relaxed, but underlying tension made it uncomfortable. Fans believe this setting forced unresolved issues back to the surface. Subtle comments were allegedly exchanged, glances lingered longer than usual, and silence spoke louder than words. Emotions ran high as it became clear that the conflict was far from resolved. Reports suggest Nadia eventually broke that silence. According to online chatter, she expressed feeling overwhelmed and emotionally exhausted, questioning whether her needs truly mattered in the larger picture. Fans are shocked by claims that her words were calm but heavy, carrying the weight of everything she had been holding back. This moment, according to commentators, shifted the tone from confrontation to emotional honesty. Even if it was uncomfortable, Michael's single quotes his response, as described in circulating stories, was mixed. Some fans believe he tried to listen more openly, while others interpret his reaction as defensive. Commentators suggest he emphasized his desire to build a stable future, repeating that the home was meant to benefit everyone involved. Emotions ran high as this explanation clashed with Nadia's need for emotional reassurance rather than practical reasoning. As the conversation unfolded, reports indicate old patterns resurfaced. Nadia was said to reference moments from the past where she felt compromise was uneven. Fans are shocked by how quickly history reportedly re-entered the discussion, turning the current situation into a reflection of deeper issues. Michael, according to commentaries, struggled with this shift, feeling that progress was being overshadowed by unresolved grievances. Rada's single quotes as role reportedly became more pronounced at this stage. Commentators claim Rada attempted to mediate, encouraging both sides to see each other's perspectives. However, fans believe this effort was met with mixed reactions. Nadia reportedly felt emotionally exposed, while Michael may have felt pressured to defend his choices. Emotions ran high as mediation blurred into confrontation, leaving everyone emotionally drained. As tensions escalated once again, reports suggest voices were raised and emotions spilled over. Fans are shocked by descriptions of frustration turning into tears, with words carrying more pain than intention. The argument reportedly moved beyond the house, touching on identity, independence, and emotional security. Commentators emphasize that this was no longer about a physical space, but about what that space symbolized within their relationship. By the end of this exchange, insiders claim no clear resolution was reached. There was acknowledgement of pain, but no agreement on how to move forward. Fans believe this uncertainty marked a critical moment where the future felt unclear and fragile. Emotions ran high, and despite attempts at understanding, the family was left divided emotionally, with lingering questions hanging in the air and no immediate answers in sight. The emotional strain did not ease as time moved on. And according to circulating commentary, the situation only grew more complicated. Fans are shocked by reports suggesting that what started as tension over the new Miami home slowly transformed into a deeper emotional standoff. Nadia was said to feel mentally exhausted, caught between wanting peace and refusing to silence her own feelings. Insiders claim she began questioning not just the situation, but herself, wondering how things reached a point where every conversation felt like emotional labor. Commentators suggest that Nadia's internal struggle became more visible during this phase. She was reportedly quieter, more reflective, and less willing to brush things aside for the sake of keeping the peace. Fans following the story believe this shift signaled a breaking point. Emotions ran high as she allegedly started expressing that compromise should not mean constant discomfort. According to online discussions, she emphasized that emotional security mattered just as much as physical stability, not more. Michael, on the other hand, was described in circulating reports as feeling increasingly misunderstood. Commentators suggest he believed his efforts were being framed negatively despite his intention to create a stable future. Fans are shocked by claims that he began to feel defensive, not out of anger, but out of frustration. Emotions ran high as he reportedly questioned whether his role was being reduced to that of a provider whose emotional perspective was secondary. As these emotional positions hardened, reports suggest communication began to suffer further. Conversations reportedly felt repetitive, with the same points being revisited without progress. Fans believe this repetition deepened a sense of hopelessness on both sides. Nadia was said to feel like she was explaining her emotions in different ways, hoping something would finally click. Michael, according to commentary, felt like no explanation was enough to bridge the emotional gap. The situation reportedly escalated again during another discussion involving Rada. Commentators describe a moment where Rada attempted to reframe the issue as a misunderstanding fueled by stress. Fans are shocked by claims that this attempt unintentionally minimized Nadia's feelings. Emotions ran high as Nadia allegedly reacted strongly, expressing that her emotions were not simply stress-induced, but rooted in long-standing patterns she could no longer ignore. This moment, according to circulating reports, marked a shift from tension to open emotional confrontation. Nadia was said to voice fears about losing autonomy and emotional balance within a relationship shaped by constant expectations. Fans believe this resonated deeply, as many interpreted her words as a call for mutual respect rather than control. Emotions ran high as the conversation reportedly moved away from blame and toward raw emotional truth. Michael's reaction, as described by online chatter, was conflicted. Commentators suggest he struggled to accept that his vision of progress could be experienced as pressure. Fans are shocked by claims that he expressed Feeling trapped between wanting to support Nadia emotionally and fearing that slowing down meant failure. Emotions ran high as these opposing fears collided, leaving both sides emotionally exposed as the exchange continued. Reports suggest Nadia questioned whether emotional reassurance was ever prioritized over external milestones. Fans believe this question cut deeply, shifting the focus from logistics to values. Commentators emphasize that this moment highlighted a fundamental difference in emotional needs. While Michael reportedly focused on building something tangible, Nadia was seeking emotional alignment and shared intention. Rada, single quotes as. Involvement during this stage was described as cautious but strained. Commentators claim Rada tried to encourage empathy on both sides, urging patience and understanding. However, fans are shocked by reports suggesting that mediation felt overwhelming rather than helpful. Nadia reportedly felt scrutinized, while Michael may have felt judged. Emotions ran high as even well-meaning efforts seemed to amplify pressure rather than ease it. The emotional toll of these repeated discussions reportedly began affecting the wider family dynamic. Insiders claim interactions became guarded, with everyone choosing words carefully to avoid reigniting conflict. Fans are shocked by how quickly tension seemed to reshape everyday moments, turning casual interactions into emotional minefields. The family was left divided emotionally, unsure of how to support without intensifying the situation. As days went on, reports indicate Nadia reached a point of emotional clarity mixed with fatigue. She was said to acknowledge that speaking up was necessary even if it led to discomfort. Fans believe this marked a subtle shift from reaction to resolve. Emotions ran high as she reportedly expressed that suppressing her feelings for the sake of harmony was no longer an option. Michael, according to circulating commentary, faced his own moment of reckoning. Commentators suggest he began to question whether his definition of progress aligned with the emotional reality of those around him. Fans are shocked by claims that he expressed uncertainty, admitting that he did not have all the answers. Emotions ran high as vulnerability entered the conversation, even if resolution remained distant. By the time emotions began to settle, there was still no clear agreement, only a shared awareness of how deep the issues ran. Fans believe this stage marked a crucial moment where denial gave way to acknowledgement. Emotions ran high, but beneath the tension was a growing understanding that the conflict was no longer just about a house, but about emotional balance, communication, and the future direction of relationships that were now standing at a crossroads. The emotional weight of everything that had unfolded did not disappear. And according to circulating commentary, this phase felt like the calm that comes, not after resolution, but after exhaustion. Fans are shocked by reports suggesting that everyone involved reached a point where emotions were no longer explosive, but heavy and lingering. Nadia was said to feel emotionally worn down, carrying the sense that she had finally said what needed to be said, even if it did not bring immediate peace. Insiders claim she became more introspective, reflecting on whether honesty alone was enough to shift long-standing dynamics. Commentators suggest this period forced Nadia to confront difficult truths about what she needed moving forward. She reportedly questioned whether love could thrive without emotional balance and whether compromise should ever come at the cost of self-respect. Fans following this story believe this inner reflection marked a turning point. Emotions ran high, quietly rather than loudly. As she weighed the fear of conflict against the fear of losing herself in silence, Michael, according to online discussions, was also deeply affected by the aftermath. Commentators claim the intensity of the situation pushed him into self-examination. Fans are shocked by reports suggesting he began to recognize that intention and impact were not always aligned. While he may have believed he was building security, he reportedly started to see how that same effort could feel overwhelming to someone else. Emotions ran high internally as he grappled with the possibility that progress needed to be redefined as communication resumed in smaller, more cautious exchanges. Reports suggest both sides approached conversations differently. Nadia was said to speak with more clarity but less urgency, choosing words carefully to protect her emotional energy. Michael, on the other hand, reportedly listened more than he spoke, aware that defensiveness had only widened the gap before. Fans believe this shift, while subtle, indicated a new awareness. Even if trust had not yet been restored, Rada's role during this stage was described as observant rather than interventionist. Commentators suggest Rada stepped back slightly, allowing space for reflection instead of mediation. Fans are shocked by claims that this distance helped ease some of the pressure that had previously fueled tension. Emotions ran high beneath the surface, but without constant interference. The situation reportedly felt less volatile, though still unresolved. Reports indicate that the wider family dynamic remained sensitive. Insiders claim everyone was aware that one wrong word could reopen wounds. Fans believe this created an atmosphere of emotional caution, where support was shown through presence rather than advice. The family was left divided emotionally, not by open conflict, but by uncertainty over what the future would look like, and how roles might change. According to circulating commentary, Nadia eventually voiced a crucial realization. She was said to acknowledge that while the house sparked the conflict, it was never truly about the house itself. Fans are shocked by how many resonated with this sentiment. Emotions ran high as she reportedly expressed that the situation forced her to confront deeper questions about partnership, voice, and emotional safety. This acknowledgement did not resolve everything, but it reframed the narrative in a way that felt more honest. Michael's single quotes as response, as described in online chatter, reflected a mix of acceptance and uncertainty. Commentators suggest he admitted that moving forward would require more than plans and promises. Fans believe this admission marked a rare moment of vulnerability. Emotions ran high as the realization set in that rebuilding trust would take time, patience, and a willingness to listen without trying to fix everything immediately. As discussions continued, reports suggest boundaries began to emerge. Nadia was said to be clearer about what she could and could not compromise on. Fans believe this clarity shifted the power dynamic slightly, allowing her to feel more grounded. Michael, according to commentary, struggled at times with these boundaries, but reportedly acknowledged their importance. Emotions ran high as both sides adjusted to a new emotional framework that felt unfamiliar but necessary. The situation reportedly reached a quiet but meaningful pause. Commentators describe it not as an ending, but as a moment of suspension where decisions had yet to be made. Fans are shocked by how unresolved questions lingered, creating suspense rather than closure. Would understanding grow into change, or would old patterns resurface once the immediate tension faded? Emotions ran high as viewers speculated about what this pause truly meant. By the end of this stage, one thing became clear in the narratives circulating online. The conflict had altered something fundamental. The new Miami home was no longer just a symbol of progress, but a reminder of how easily good intentions could collide with emotional reality. Fans believe this chapter left everyone changed, more aware of their needs and limits. Even if the path forward remained uncertain, as commentary continues to spread, viewers are left reflecting on the deeper implications of what they believe unfolded. Emotions ran high throughout, and while no definitive resolution has been confirmed, the story being told suggests that growth often begins in discomfort. The family was left divided emotionally, not by anger alone, but by the difficult work of redefining connection, communication, and what moving forward truly requires. Now that you have heard all the details being discussed and the commentary surrounding this situation, one thing is clear to viewers everywhere. This story has left more questions than answers. Fans are shocked by how quickly something that was supposed to represent a fresh start turned into a moment of deep emotional reflection. Emotions ran high, relationships were tested, and the family was left divided in ways that may take time to fully understand. And since these reports continue to circulate, many are still wondering what this means for everyone involved moving forward. This is where you come in. If you have been following this story, you have probably formed your I have probably formed your opinion about what really mattered here and where things may have gone wrong. Do you think the tension was inevitable, or could things have been handled differently before emotions reached this point? Was the new Miami home a symbol of progress, or did it expose cracks that were already there? Your perspective matters, and this conversation does not end here. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more commentary on trending reality TV drama, make sure you show your support by liking this video. Subscribe to the channel so you do not miss future updates, deep dives, and discussions as new reports continue to surface. And most importantly, drop a comment below and let everyone know what you think about this situation. Do you believe this was just a temporary emotional clash, or the beginning of a much bigger shift? Your thoughts help shape the conversation, so speak up and be part of it.